Dog days of summer. We're far from that, though.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Speaking of dogs.
Thanks, Brooks. Yeah, I knew this half hour. Dogs and babies, of course, both adorable. But you know what? You want your dog to love the new baby. It doesn't always happen like that. And there's help for someone who calls himself a doggy doula.
Yeah, we have Tanya here. She is from Family Pupz. She's going to tell us about how you guys help families maybe introduce that new baby into the family. Because not every dog is the same, not every family is the same, and sometimes that can be a difficult transition maybe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we work with our expecting families, we go through a whole process. We start with training the dog, making sure that the dog is able to respond to the parents in any situation, even when they're holding a baby. Then we prepare the dog by exposing them to the baby equipment, to baby sounds, different movements, making sure that we know how the dog reacts to those so that we are prepared. And if there are things that we need to change or teach the dog how to behave in certain situations, we can do that as well. And then we also make a plan for the day that the mom is giving birth, and also the day that the parents bring home the baby, and then the weeks and months after that, to make sure that we create positive associations.
Do you think a lot of us parents often forget how shocking all of this change can be for the dog? Because it is new, like you said, the baby gear. Dogs, they haven't seen that before. They don't know what a baby is. They don't know the concept of a baby necessarily. Do you think we forget how shocking that is for the dog?
I think you parents tend to get very busy with the baby.
That's true.
And oftentimes the dog kind of takes the back seat. So we want to make sure that we are consciously making time, even if it's 5-10 minutes, so each parent has that time with the dog, and making sure that we keep the schedule as close as possible to what the dog is used to, so that the dog feels that they're still a part of the family and feels that their life has not changed that much. And if not, there is help out there. There are walkers, there are daycares that can be options for parents. Yeah, totally.
Well, and especially if the dog is used to getting all of your attention,
that's
and now they don't have all your attention, or there's like a screaming child in the room now, and they're like, what is this noise? Is this a fire alarm? What's happening, right?
Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing. The attention thing is a big deal, because and just like with kids, if you have one kid, then you go to having a second kid, all of a sudden the first kid's like, wait a second. Dogs respond the same way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that we talk about very often. Parents see the dog's change in behavior as jealousy, because it's easy for us to explain it, right? This is jealousy, this is what I see. But oftentimes I see this as sign of anxiety, because now the dog is unsure how to behave, the routine has changed and the household has changed. So we want to make sure that we make it comfortable for the dog and prepare them as well.
Well, and you guys have an event coming up on Wednesday, is that right?
Yeah, so we have an event at Second Star to the right. There we'll be talking about, it's more of a dogs and toddlers. So when kids are a little bit younger, obviously they crawl and they move around. So a lot more conflict can be seen in that in that age. So we want to make sure that we incorporate management around the house, like baby gates, crates and baby gates, and different ways to provide, let's say, a child-free space for the dog, and vice versa. Talk about dog body language, which is very important. There are some subtle signals that not everybody recognizes, but once we do, then we can ensure that when the dog is not comfortable, we can redirect the situation and intervene.
All right, familypupz.com with a Z on the end. You can find out more information about the event on Wednesday, and of course everything that you guys do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Very good information, especially for pet pups.
Yes.
Pet parents to be is what I was trying to say,
goodness.
or parents to be for that matter. There were a ton of highlights from the NBA All-Star